viewers, this is the Treasures of Life show, and my name is Jonah Simba. My sign language interpreter is Irene Chebiwot. I'm talking about forming an identity. I keep saying in this show, my powerful name is Jonah Simba. Or rather, my sign language interpreter's powerful name is Irene Chebiwot. I keep using words to try and form an identity. It is deliberate. Sometimes you need to define who you are. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you probably feel you do not match it, you need to start working. Because in forming an identity, what identity do you desire? I know, even as you're listening to me, there is power in virtue. And very few people would rather be identified as evil. Most of us, if not all, desire to be identified in a positive manner, to be identified as righteous, to be identified as men and women of virtue. It is just the rule of nature that humanity is prone to evil. That is the rule of nature. But then, people who work hard at forming a positive identity against evil, more often than not, those are men and women who create positive legacy. Look for Mother Teresa's name. Look for Nelson Mandela's name. Look for the men and women that you admire in the society. Many of them are people who went beyond odds. They stood against all odds just to ensure that the right virtues come out of their life. And that is why you don't need to beat yourself down in case you found yourself in an identity crisis. I call it identity crisis because I know you do not want to be identified with evil. You may be a leader. Probably you've been identified as a bad leader. But it is in your mind. You're feeling this is beyond you. But today, I want to explain to you that through the change of life, changes of life can cause identity crisis. What you need to do is to adapt. Just adapt. Adapt to things in life. Try hard to adapt. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. When you find a lot of criticism, turn it. Use that criticism to your advantage. I'm speaking to even pastors, religious leaders, who may have failed, probably, maybe out of lack of knowledge, Even the Christians, they say that my people perish. God says my people perish for lack of knowledge. They are still God's people. They have not stopped to be God's people, but they are perishing for lack of knowledge. It means that when you lack information, you can easily be lost. That is why in forming an identity, you need to be a hard worker, constantly looking for the right information. If you are in issues of religion, keep on self-educating so that you do not land yourself into heresies, into things that can lead you into trouble and create in you a certain identity that works against your cause, because you have a cause to improve the society. You have a cause to please your maker God. But then because of the changes of life, you may find yourself, without knowing, lacking information on how things are moving, how things are changing, how you need to approach certain ideologies and certain issues of life. That is where we are today. People are changing. It is only God that is not changing, but there are changes every day. One day somebody is rich, the other day they are lacking in finances. But it is temporary. They can come back to financial freedom. You know, you don't need to panic or fear. Remember, fear may cause you to sin, to get into evil. When you fear lack so much, you may find yourself into fraud, into getting involved with illicit financial flows. Yet you're a minister of God, or probably you're a leader. You know, you may find yourself, because of that panic, of the needs of the things that you have to do, you start admiring, adapting new ways of making ends meet. So you need to adapt to changes of life. That is why in the Treasures of Life show, we encourage emotional growth. You need to understand how to overcome tough times without being lost, because tough times never last. Remember that. Tough times never last. You know, the stresses of life. The stresses of life can be very dangerous. The stresses of life, don't put them so much on your mind. Stress can lead you into identity crisis. You need to learn how to weather the storms of life. You know, the storms can be there, but how do you position yourself to flow with the storm? Yeah? You can use the energies of the storms of life to advance rather than to deteriorate. The storms of life can try to bring you down, can try to bring you low, but let them never ever bring you down. You know, these are the things that can bring out of you a certain identity that is not you. Issues of domestic violence, issues of negative ethnicities, issues of even corruption, murders, issues of homicides. These are things that come out of simple stresses. Never neglect the simple things of life. Yeah? And here I don't mean sweating the small stuff. No. There is sweating the small stuff, but there is addressing the stresses that may be a threat to your destiny. When something is not a threat to your destiny, leave it. There are things in life worth ignoring. There are things that are not worth focusing on. Anxiety is like a chair, a rocking chair, that will keep you busy, but you will be headed nowhere. You will be anxious. Your mind will be busy, lacking sleep. You will lack rest, but you are not improving anything. You will think about it, rethink about it, and the only thing that it will push you into is stress and deeper stress. That is when people talk of mental health issues and depression. But when you learn how to deal with your stresses, put them down, sit on your luggage, learn how to sit on your loads of life. How do you offload? Look for mentors. Look for places to let out. Talk to somebody. Go out there. Take yourself out. If you can, be out there. Talk to people. Explain what you feel. Never forget to dance through life. Never forget to listen to the music that is life. Never forget to smell the flowers of life. Never forget to appreciate who you are. Never forget that aspect of gratitude. Because many times when you focus on the things that you have been endowed with by nature and God, you will be energized. Yeah. You know, sometimes you just need to look at where you have come as a country, as a family, or as an individual, and you will be glad that yes, you are not where you're supposed to be, but certainly, surely, you are not where you were. You never realize it when you grow. You see yourself big, the following day bigger. You see your child, one day they are crawling, suddenly they are walking, but you never see that real growth happening. There is no one who has ever seen the real growing. You see it moving. You see the cells growing bigger, the ears and the legs and the hands. You will never see it. It is like a silent thing. That is one of the mysteries of God. I call it some of the mysteries of God. Growth just happens without any of us saying it happening. You just know that people are getting better and better and better. In the same way, you don't need to feel it. All you need to do is you desire a better tomorrow. It will come. Start working on it. Start just working on it. The growth will come silently, but it will surely come. But there is another danger in it, that general advancement in life, success in life, can bring identity crisis. You know, for some of you or some of us, all we need is millions in our hands, and we will be evil to the in an embarrassing way. You do not know that evil is expensive. So general advancement in life can cause you to gain identity crisis. Suddenly, you start questioning your values just because you have more money in your account. You are more popular. You've now gotten what you needed. Then you forget where you came from. Suddenly you're arrogant. Suddenly you're proud. I don't know what pride is, but if I may try to explain it, I may even miss it. But there are things that you know, suddenly you're just arrogant. You're just holding on to the pride of life. You don't care anyone. You don't listen to anybody. You have no leader over you. You have no patron over you. You have no mentor. You have no prophet over you, no pastor. You don't want any religious leader to talk to you. You don't care. That is what I call the pride of life. It comes out of the general advancement of life. As I wind up, I'm winding this section up. It comes out of general advancement of life. Your identity. I'm looking at your personality. Yeah. I'm even going deeper to your hobbies. Yeah. Even your ethnicity. Anyway, forming an identity is key. See you after the break.